Hey friends, it's Jackeline here. In today's video, I'm bringing my review, demo, swatches, and this makeup look using the brand new HINDASH Beautopsy palette. But before we get started, and if you're new here, I hope that you can give me that opportunity and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you ring that post notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads, and come and follow me on my Instagram. And now, if you want to know everything about Beautopsy, then just keep on watching. Today I'm coming to you with foundation and concealer because I will be playing with one of the most anticipated makeup launches of 2021 from one of my most admired makeup artists, and I know that you already know who I'm talking about because of the title of the video, because of the thumbnail. Yes, it's Beautopsy by HINDASH. And first of all, I want to say thank you so much, HINDASH, for sending your masterpiece over to me. I appreciate it. I celebrate with you this launch right here. I'm so happy for you, and for you, my subscribers, and those who are visiting my channel. I welcome you to all of you. I will give you my honest opinion about this palette. I will give you the perspective of a regular consumer, someone that loves makeup, that loves to play with makeup. But needless to say, with HINDASH, we have formed a friendship, and receiving Beautopsy means so much to me. He has been so supportive with me. I just want to say thank you, HINDASH, once again, and thank you so much to your team. Okay, friends, believe it or not, when HINDASH told me that this was being sent over my way, and then he messaged me a picture of like the package going out, I was like, oh my goodness, just pinch me, please. So I received it, it's right here, and he even wrote right here, the Beautopsy of Jackeline. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. I think I'm gonna frame it. Okay, I know that's too much right here. And then he sent a note right here. Let me read it to you. Dear Jackeline, I'm thrilled to finally share Beautopsy with you and introduce HINDASH Cosmetics. Beautopsy is a pressed pigment palette best used with brushes, building up the color. I cannot wait for you to experiment and play with makeup. HINDASH. Yes, that's what we're gonna do right now. So this is the way that the palette comes. You can actually purchase it right now at HINDASH website. I will be leaving all the details on the description box below for your convenience. So when you open it up, there you go. There's the palette. There's a little ribbon right here that you can just pull up and take out the palette. So let me just put this down really quick. Now here it is, the palette is so sleek. It looks like a little book to put it on your coffee table. It's so lovely. It says HINDASH right here. It is once again a pressed pigment palette made in Italy, and it has a shelf life of 24 months and is vegan. Let's take a look at the inside. It's magnetized, and look at that, my friends. Comes with a really nice size mirror too. Wow. Honestly, when you see it in person, it's just so impressive. It's just so different to what you see online. A camera, not even how good is a camera, cannot make justice to how beautiful is this palette. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. It's so beautiful. And then I also received this little card right here that it tells you how to use it. But honestly, when you see the palette, it's like a true painter's palette, like have fun, play with it, create your own shapes. This is what this palette is offering to us, with all this ombre effect that each of the pans have, that you can really just create your own shades and whatnot. Like I was mentioning to you before, I only have foundation and concealer on. I need to set my concealer before it creases like crazy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be using my Sonia G Inoshige Pro brush, and I'm gonna go to this yellowy kind of banana shade right here, and I'm just gonna dab just a little, and I'm gonna set my concealer. Now I also have concealer on my crease. Now the concealer has already, again, creased a little, so I'm just gonna use kind of like right on the middle right here, and I'm just gonna set right there too. I'm also gonna set my cheeks. Now in purpose, I haven't done my brows, so I'm gonna be using, I think I wanna use something a little bit more in the grayish tone, but my brows are a little bit dark too, so I think I wanna start somewhere in here. And then I'm gonna go and use a little bit of darkest shade, just looking kind of like for the perfect tone. And then I'm gonna draw some brow hairlines and just kind of paint it and fill them in. So again, I'm going to Fill Unreal and then Intrafatum. And I'm using a Refer number 29 brush. I'm done filling out my brows. I'm gonna go ahead and set them with a little bit of that Benefit Brow Setter. Now I want to contour my face just a little, so I'm gonna use a little bit of this Feel Real shade and just kind of go on the middle. I'm using a Wayne Goss brush. Now as a bronzer, I usually like my bronzers to be a little bit more in the golden tone. So I'm gonna mix wet paint, the yellow side, with a little bit of Feel plus Real. And I'm just gonna go kind of like, just tap it on the edge. And I'm using my Refer 05 brush. I'm going to contour my nose, and I'm going to use Feel Unreal right in the middle. And I'm just this Scott Barnes brush. I'm going to leave the blush for last, and I'm going to play right now with eyeshadows. First, and for the base, I think I want to go to tan lines, and I'm just going to go kind of like, not in the middle, but I mean, right here. That's where I'm going. And I'm gonna take it above the crease and start blending it there. Now I want to add some warmth to this look, so I want to go to wet paint, and then I'm gonna go into Love Kills. And then I'm just gonna blend it in above my crease. Now I'm gonna go to Feel Real, kind of like in the corner. And I'm just gonna start applying it on the outer third of the eyelid. I'm gonna mix in a little bit of tan lines and a little bit of Intrafatum. And you know what is impressive about this formula is that I don't see mixing of the shades. We will talk about that in a little. And I'm just gonna deepen out my outer V. Now I think I want to put just a little bit of coral tone, but very subtle. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a little bit of wet paint, and then I'm gonna touch a little on Boy Wonder. I'm gonna go right here on tan lines and then grab a little bit of wet paint, and then I'm gonna apply it from the inner portion of my eyelid all the way till the middle. mix a little bit of tan lines with Feel Real, and I'm going to apply it on my lower lash line. Now I'm going to mix in a little bit of tan lines, and I'm going to go to Intra Fattun, kind of like not to the deepest side, but kind of like in the middle, a little bit farther than the middle. And then I'm going to use that shade to line my upper lash lines. Now I'm going to be taking a little bit of tan lines, and I'm going to take it right here, inner portion. Now I'm going to go to Wet Paint, and I'm going to use this shade to highlight my inner corner and also my brow bone. NARS Climax Extreme Mascara. I'm going back to Intra Fattun, and I'm going to use it to line my lower lash line. My waterline, PermaGrath Black Coffee. Now for blush, I think I'm going to go to Boy Wonder and a little bit of Love Killed. The sun decided to shine bright right now. Okay, let's do something for, sorry if that's blinding you, but you know guys, I film in natural light. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a little bit of Boy Wonder and just a dash of Love Kills, and I'm gonna use it on my lips. Now I'm going to use just a clear lip gloss. I'm going to swatch the palette. I'm going to try to do my best because this has this ombre effect, and I'm going to do kind of like double swatch so you can see the intensity you can achieve. Tan lines, Wet Paint, Boy Wonder, Feel Real, Love Kills, Intra Fattun. Okay friends, and here we go. This is my final look using HINDASH Beautopsy palette. What I have to tell you about this palette is amazing. This comes to simplify our life. I mean, this is not only for those who are makeup artists, but people like us that we are just makeup lovers, that we want to play with makeup. And playing with makeup is just like a painter, you know, you just grab one shade, mix it with another shade. But the beautiful thing about this formulation is that it doesn't get muddy. As you can tell, I mean, here I use the palette and you can see how little of kickback I had. I mean, like none, pretty much none. The palette is just pristine the way, I mean, like it looks new. And I was able to mix this shade right here, put it up here, and that is the magic about this palette. And when I was chatting with HINDASH, he explained to me that it took him years to create this palette because he wanted to point to the perfect formulation, and I think he has achieved it. Because although you see these gradient shades, you're not gonna run into the problem of making of these shades muddy or mixing. As you can tell, I mean, like I have gone from this shade to this shade and nothing has happened, because each of the shades of this palette, they are all the way from the top all the way to the bottom the same way. So it's consistent. That's the technology that he's bringing, so you can really mix in and just have fun with it. Another thing too is this palette caters for multiple skin tones, and that's something super important because it takes you from the lightest shades to the deepest of the shades, and that way you can actually create your own tonality. So this palette again is just fantastic. Formulation is beautiful. It's such formula that is no powdery, is very silky. And to best describe the type of formula, if you have tried that Sisley Blur Expert powder, if you have tried this formula, it's so silky, it's matte, but yet it does have dimension to it. This is a formula that is very alike to what we found here on HINDASH palette in terms of texture and finish. And the beautiful thing also about this Sisley powder, and that's why it's called the Blur Expert, is because it will not emphasize your fine lines, those signs of aging, or if you have a lot of falls on your eyelids like I do, it doesn't emphasize them, it doesn't make them look prominent because it's just so blurry and so smoothing, and that's what you find on this palette right here. I mean, 10 out of 10. It's amazing. I'm so happy to have it on my collection, and I'm just so grateful. Once again, thank you so much to HINDASH and your team for sending this over to me. I greatly appreciate it, and I treasure it with all my heart, and you know it, my dear friend. I cannot wait to see what else you have in store for us. And now, my friends, I would love to carry on the conversation on the comment section down below. I would love to know, are you planning to get Beautopsy? Perhaps you have already got it. What you think about it? I would love to hear from you and while you're at it. And if you haven't done so yet, I hope that you can give me that opportunity and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you ring that post notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads, and come and follow me on my Instagram. If you like this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. Also share with family and friends, and until the next time, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye bye. Right on time for that sunset.